after the news that has broken today about Declan Rice. We are here to discuss it here on West Ham Unleashed. Of course, if you haven't seen it, it's been rumoured coming out from TalkSport and Jim White today that West Ham United have offered Declan Rice a new proposal of an 8-year contract to be at West Ham with £200,000 a week on the table. We're here to discuss that. First time on the channel, I'm joined by Mark from the West Ham Way. Mark, how are you?
I'm very well, thanks. How are you doing, mate? You okay?
Yeah, not bad, not bad. Just before we delve quite deep into this, overall on a whole, what do you make of it?
Obviously shocked. I mean, there's something not quite right here. I mean, at the end of the day, I've never heard of an 8-year contract in my life to a player. That's the first one, so that's ridiculous. And also, what's surprising me is that I think it's been very clear throughout the whole Rice saga, is he staying or what, and contracts and everything else, and contract offers, is that he's not a money-driven man. You know, he's clearly an ambitious footballer. He knows he's a world-class player. I'm sure he's aware of how good he is, you know, and he wants to be playing at the top level. He wants to be, you know, when we talk about, you know, ambition, I think Rice's ambitions are, I want to go and win the Premier League. I want to go and win the Champions League. That's what I want to go and do with my career. So, and I think that's been quite evident that, you know, he wants to see the club match that ambition. And throwing a contract offer at him for, you know, 200 grand a week for a long, you know, basically finish your career at West Ham, I don't really get it, other than worryingly, I think this could be going down a path of, you know, we tried our best to keep him, you know, poor old David Sullivan tried his best. And then also, is it going to start trying to make Rice look a bit of the villain here? Trying to turn the fans on him a little bit because they maybe know he's only going to be here for one more season, or maybe not. Maybe not, you know, he might even go this summer. So that's my theory about all this. Yeah.
Yeah, I think my issue with it as well is that the placement of it, you know, with Mark Noble's last home game on Sunday, that's going to be what people are talking about, which is not what we want. You know, Mark Noble's been at this football club 18 years. We should be celebrating him, but instead, everybody's got in their back of their mind, talk about what happened on Wednesday. You know, Declan Rice, 8-year, 200 grand a week, all this rubbish. The timing of it when we're trying to catch Man United to try and get into Europa League again. I think it's a poor thing to release, and it's a poor thing to release at this moment as well.
Absolutely, the timing of it is bizarre. I'd love to think there's some good news at the end of this, that maybe the talks are going well, or maybe they've had a bit of a turn for the better. I don't think so, but that's my kind of. I'm really hoping. I mean, because at the moment we're still in the early stages of this. I mean, it's only been when we're talking about this, you know, this evening. It only came out this afternoon, didn't it? So maybe there's going to be more details emerging. But yeah, you're right. I mean, it's just something we could just do without. I don't want to see. I want to see the club go out and, you know, show Rice is the club to be at. That's what I want him to do. I just think throwing money at him, it's not going to do anything. I think he's proven over the course of the last sort of 24 months that, you know, with the various contract offers have been put in front of him, he's not a money driven man. He wants to go and win things. So how about go and throw some money at some good players and try and, you know, line him up with Calvin Phillips, bring in a top, you know, 20, 30 goal, you know, striker, things like that. And he might start thinking, you know, actually, I might stay here. But I don't get it. It's just, and as you said, timing's bizarre.
Yeah. Andy, hope you are. I'll send the link if you want to come on, mate. Andy says David Sullivan has kept quiet for a long time and probably had a row with his new finance and wanted to be the centre of attention for a couple of days. And the reason that's at the centre of attention as well is because of who bought it out, and it was only going to be one man. It was going to be Jim White on TalkSport this morning, and the way it came out as well was that, you know, you've got Trevor Sinclair sitting back there thinking, what's this going on about? Really, this is just, whether there's any truth in it, we don't know at this moment, but we know he's Sullivan's mouthpiece, and it's just not what we want, really, just overall.
No, it's not. It's a distraction we could do without. And you say we've got big games coming up. We've got, you know, I mean, Manchester City's a big game, you know, for us. Let's make no mistake, we want to get something out of that match because we want top six. And if we could get a point against City, that really helps us, you know, because, you know, it really gets us on the way, or even get 3 points. I mean, to be honest, I don't think Declan will be distracted by it. He's such a professional. I'm sure he's not really that bothered. For me, it's embarrassing a little bit because it's quite clear he's looking around, probably Declan, and seeing how the club performs over the next year or so. I mean, I will say At this stage, I'm about 80 to 90% confident that he will stay this summer. I think we're going to get another season out of Rice. I think that's kind of the agreement that's going on behind the scenes. But things like this, though, could drive that away. You know what I mean? He might now get a bit frustrated because it's making Declan once again reject an offer. And then is that going to turn? The fans going to start getting a bit fed up with this? Because I mean, we're all getting a bit tired of hearing that Declan's rejected an offer. But it's quite obvious from the people that from inside the club and the noise coming around that Declan simply just said to him, "Look, I just want to see ambition. I want to go and do well. I don't want to commit to a long-term future." From what I believe is that Declan's looking at the situation with Harry Kane and uses that as a prime example. I mean, Kane signed this big long-term deal with Tottenham, and effectively he's trapped. He can't get away from them, and he's really missed out. He's now 28, 29. He's probably thinking, the City move's probably pretty much gone now. The fact they've signed Haaland, so. He must be sitting there thinking, if I hadn't signed that deal, I could have manoeuvred myself away to a bigger move. And I just think Declan looks at that and thinks, do I want to be doing the same? I don't think. And so why would you offer him an 8-year deal? My feeling is, why didn't they offer? Right, Declan Rice has got 3 years effectively left on his West Ham deal. 2 years with a 1-year extension this summer. Why not offer him a 3-year deal? Just freshen it up. It hasn't got to be any longer. I'll just say, Declan, we're going to offer you a new deal, 200 grand a week for 3 years. So at least it keeps him for one more season. And then next summer, maybe do the same. Sit down again, offer him a bit more money, say, look, we'll make it 3 years. So effectively, like a rolling contract. So by the time then we are going to sell, or he desperately wants to move on, let's say, we've got 2 years left on the deal. So we can always get a bit of money for him. That's what I would have done, personally.
Yeah, it's just, with the whole 8 years, people have been putting on Twitter today, 8 years. I've never heard of an 8-year contract. Luke says it here, 8-year deal. I wouldn't sign an 8-year deal. It makes zero sense for both parties. It does. And I think it was somebody else who was on there this morning on TalkSport basically said that means that he's tying himself down to West Ham for the rest of his career. And he's realistically probably not going to be here for his whole career. But let's get Andy on. Andy, how are you?
Yeah, not bad, thanks, mate. How are you? Evening, Mark.
Yeah.
Hey, Andy, you right?
Yeah. As I said in my comment, mate, it's just drama after drama. He's kept quiet for so long, and then and then David Sullivan. That is because the source is obviously David Sullivan. I don't know why he tries to deny it. The last contract, what I've seen for that length. Do you remember Alan Pardew with his 7-year contract at Newcastle, the manager, and they were still paying it off like 2 years ago. So like, it's just, to be honest, I'm just more frustrated because you'd never see any other club release any when a player signs a contract. It's when it's official on the website. I just don't understand, and everyone must be thinking. I think this could damage the potential signings what we're going to get in the summer. We've probably got some lined up, and they're probably thinking, "Oh, the leaks are coming out again. Do I really want to be a part of that?"
Yeah, no, it's just the wrong time and the wrong thing, and just we thought we got past this. Oh, Sullivan, give something for Jim White, so Jim White can put it on TalkSport and just say it wasn't really him and this and it's Sullivan. But Mark, before I let you go, just have your final thought on the whole situation, mate.
I mean, I don't think it's going to distract Rice personally. I don't think we're going to see a dip in form from the last 2 games. So I think that's the positive for us now. As you say, I think the whole thing's just a little bit embarrassing because he's not going to sign it. We know that. I mean, I'll be absolutely stunned. I think the whole world would be if he signed anything like that. He's not going to. So I sadly just think this is a total Sullivan playbook again, trying to, we tried routine. That's why I think this is all where this is going. And I just really hope that when the news carries on and starts unfolding, that actually there's a bit of positivity in this. Maybe the talks are actually going a bit more positive, and maybe the news that's come out isn't quite as what we're getting. But the fact it's come from Jim White makes me just think that they have offered him this stupid contract. He is going to reject it, and I just think we're in for a really long summer of speculation, which is going to be so frustrating. But my gut feeling is that he won't be sold this summer. I don't think West Ham are going to sell him. I really hope not anyway.
Exactly. Yeah. Mark, thank you very much for coming on. I'll catch you soon.
You take care. Take care, Dad.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Bye. Right then. There's Andy's doorbell. Things to have to see. Right then. Let's do a cheeky substitution. Who could it be, Andy? One man and one man only.
Charlie Walsh.
Not quite.
Peach.
Well, not quite.
It's Mr. Hadjar, manager himself. Yeah, I know. I knew it was
Evening.
Mike.
You should
I
have
knew
went
it was-
older, mate. You should have went older.
I wasn't. I was going to say one of the hatchers, which means I've got more of a chance.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
Half a
Mike, how are you,
chance,
mate?
Yeah, good. You right, lads?
Yeah.
Is that your
perfect.
takeaway turning up, Andy, or what?
I wish, mate. I wish. Spag bowl for dinner tonight.
Oh,
Oh,
lovely,
lovely.
mate. Lovely.
I've
What do
shut
you make
up.
of this then, Mike?
Don't start on that again. Last time my phone went dead as soon as you went on about the curry. I had to go out and get one.
Oh dear. Mike, Declan Rice, come on, talk to me.
Oh, mate. Oh, typical, isn't it? Typical of our mob, innit? They've been quiet for so long, haven't they? And now all this. I mean, we knew it would happen, didn't we? But he's not ever going to sign an 8-year contract. It's just a total joke. I mean, I hope it's not as bad as what it seems. I just hope that we just get on and make other signings. That's the way to keep Declan Rice. It's not offering him an 8-year contract and 200 a week. I mean, it's all up 200k a week. I mean, it's all about. I think he still wants to. I think he'll stay. I think we got him for at least another year. I think it's just down to the owners now to get out there, get the checkbook out, make the right appointments, get some decent players on board with him, and that's what he wants to see. He's waiting to see that, and I don't blame him. He deserves Champions League football or a team that's got a really good chance of getting it.
100%. I think that I mentioned it with Mark, Andy, is the timing as well. Is that we've just come off the back of the player awards last night or whenever it was, and Declan Rice won Ham of the Year, and everything looked quite good. And then this has just jumped on us today, and Declan Rice has seen this throughout the day, no doubt about it. And he just must be sitting back and thinking, "What the hell's going on here, man?"
Yeah, it's. Like what Mark said, I think a lot of us here. I don't think he's going to leave in the summer. I think he's going to give us one more year because he's clearly said that in his interviews. Everything what Mark Noble's done for him, he's not going to move on. But I agree with what Mike's saying. All I keep hearing is this £150 million budget what we've got for players. But I'd rather get 3 or 4 players on a cheap deal and free transfer, and then spend 50 million on 3 players. Do you see what I mean? Or something like that, or 40. That's the way you're going to keep Declan Rice in, because if we had that striker, we wouldn't be where we are. We'd be Champions League football already. It's not Antonio's fault, but like you said, it's just the timing. We're just on that buzz again after that Norwich result. What Declan, obviously Jake, you were there as well. Mark Noble come over, Declan Rice. You can just see the interaction what he's got.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's just like putting a knife through butter, and it's just we're back to 3 years ago again. We've got no money.
Well, exactly. We were sat within a matter of meters away from each other, and we could see them coming over. Mark Noble and Declan Rice were over, and he went, "Come on, sing my song." And we did, and then he turns around, he claps, and we all know he loves West Ham fans, but this yet again is something that damages how long we keep Declan Rice for. And Sullivan, as you said in his comment, Andy, is not had any attention, and you've got to give him credit and gold credit for that, for not coming out and saying these things. But it's come up today, and it's just put fuel to the fire almost with the whole.
But the thing is, though, is what I will say is I'm going to try and spin it around, and it may be hard to believe. This might not be David Sullivan. This might be Jim White trying to get clickbait, or they're anything. There's no concrete evidence that it is. I'm just trying to spin it round, and I'm thinking they've kept so quiet. Obviously, we've got the I can never say his name, Kosinski.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I don't think he's going to be happy. He'll be on the phone to David Sullivan, going, "What the hell you're doing as well?" So, what about you? Do you reckon it could not be David Sullivan? Do you reckon this could be just Jim White?
To be honest, we're all jumping on the bandwagon a bit, aren't we? Because Declan Rice knows the truth. He knows if he's been offered that sort of contract. He may be laughing at going, "What's all this shite?" You know what I mean? Excuse my French. But I mean, you could be right, Andy. It could all turn round. It could be a different sort of deal. It could be something like there's a clause in it. You know what I mean? There could be different bits and pieces that this might have got out, and it might not be the whole truth.
Mm.
I'm hoping, but it does sound a bit like them, doesn't it? It does.
Yeah.
I mean,
Jim could have added another 3 years. We could have offered him a 5-year deal for 200 grand a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Not that we should be
what
public
else has
domain.
TalkSport got to talk about? God, it's Declan Rice all the time, isn't it? It comes up every other day,
But whether it's a coincidence, listen, I don't listen to TalkSport, so I wouldn't know. But the thing that I found interesting, I watched the video on YouTube when I got home, and Trevor Sinclair was there. Whether that's a coincidence, I don't know whether Trevor Sinclair's there every day or on a specific day, but it just seemed a bit coincidental that he was there, and all of a sudden this whole Declan Rice exclusive came out, and then what surprise, former West Ham player here to talk about it. It was just a bit strange in that sense as well. Mike, your infamous crackle has come back.
Oh no, it's not Lisa, mate.
No, it's not. If you could refresh, come back in, and hopefully that'll wipe it out.
I'll come back, mate.
Dear technology, hey. But right, let's take some comments. Let's see who we've got. Gary, hope you are well. Chris says they've worked out they can get 100 million plus for him. Offer a deal he will refuse, so fans don't get peed that the board never tried. I think that's what many people have said, and I think that's probably more near the truth. John says, is this with the knowledge of what will be the new owner come next year? Let's enjoy him for another year and get players of a better quality around him. Then he might stay. Yeah, as well, Andy, is that I think that the whole rumor of this came out by saying that it was that his camp believes that he can get about 300 to 400 million, 300 to 400,000 a week, which is not Declan Rice. He's not a money invested man as much to that sense, which just bewilders me even more as well.
Well, if Graziano Pella could get 500 grand a week in China before obviously the interaction when he left Southampton, them numbers are going to be floated around. You don't really. I'd love to know. Obviously, it's not official; it's estimated on how many players are on over 300 grand a week out of the top three, which you can probably say Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City, probably Man United because they offer silly money as well. Because I know Tottenham don't. Like Harry Kane was the first person to go over 100 grand a week, I think, like a couple of years ago. So they're not the same. So yeah, well, it's just crap.
It is right. Mike's been kicked out from downstairs. He's gone up to his West Ham West Ham camp.
Yeah, we're up here. Is that better?
Yeah, for the moment. Yeah, for the moment, hopefully.
Good.
Yeah. Let's take some more of your comments. Then Gary says, invest in the squad, make us a powerhouse. We're not far off a top 4, win a cup. He will stay. And he doesn't want the 300, 400 grand a week. He wants that money to be chucked at players, good players, recognisable players, not the, I'd like us to sign a Keane Lewis Potter, but let's buy a proven Premier League striker on top of that as well. Let's buy Ollie Watkins. Let's buy Brozier, who has been doing well and proven in stages this season he can do it. Hamarat, hope you are well. Yeah, where did they pluck an 8-year contract from? No idea. We can keep him for 3 more years. He won't down tools. No, he won't. Luke says, obviously don't want that to happen, but what if he does a Dean Ashton next season? We have to pay out 72 million. Well, let's not think about that, Luke. Always the optimist, mate. Always the optimist. Let's scroll down. Usual Suspect says it's the same thing as all of them. Non-existent signings in January, and so the Rice rumours begin again. Yeah, they got nothing else to talk about, so they peddle all this out again. What a coincidence! Before we carry on with the comments, what do you think? Do you think, Mike, that this damages Declan Rice's way of looking at West Ham? Would you think he just head down, just get on with it?
He's been here a long time now. He's seen all of this before, hasn't he? Yeah. Let's face it. I mean, he's seen it all before, but he knows the value of the club is in the fans, the players. I mean, he thinks more of West Ham as, a community and the fans and the rest of the squad and David Moyes and his team. I think that's West Ham to him. it ain't David Sullivan and David Gold and Karen Brady. That's not West Ham to him. They could be gone next week. You know, we ain't going nowhere. I've been here for 50 odd years and I'm still going to be there. You know what I mean? And he knows that. He knows the people that really matter. And that's us. You know, and I think for sure he would like to give us another really good year. And he's had a couple of good years, hasn't he? Let's face it. I mean, you know, for what he's achieved, you know, he's one of the best midfielders in the country now, and he's a dead cert on Southgate's team sheet every time. He's one of the first picks in that team. But you can't blame the guy, because I think he deserves trophies and he needs some success. And he needs to be playing in a team with players as good as him or nearly as good as him around him. And that's what he deserves. And that's what they got to do. They just got to go out and they can't do it overnight. We can't afford to do that overnight. We're realistic, but we got to build it. We got to bring in 3 or 4 top quality players in the summer at least.
Andy, let's just hope now that we can forget this from today. We can go into the summer transfer window now, spend some money and go, you know what, Rice, there you go. We've spent all this money. We've bought in proven quality players that Declan Rice has heard of. Let's not lie, players that he's heard of, players that he's going to go, oh, cool, that's going to be a good player to have in the dressing room. Put all of this to the side, tell Sullivan to shut up, and let's try and keep Declan Rice at West Ham for as long as possible.
I think Moyes has probably been on the phone as well, if it is true. Moyes won't be happy either. Moyes won't be happy either. Obviously, this is the thing. Obviously, like what you're saying, the preparation for David Moyes will have his press conference on, I think it's 2 days before, so Friday. This is all going to be about the contract now in the media, not about Mark Noble or playing Man City. That's all the press conference is going to be about, which is a bit of a joke, to be honest. And I feel sorry for Noble. Like that emotional speech, like Mike, you even said it. I wasn't ashamed to even admit it. I had tears in my eyes watching that interview, and I put it on Twitter.
Got something in my eye, mate. I don't know what it was. A fly or something got in there. But...
Yeah, it's just so frustrating that another situation has gone by and it hasn't. But for me, I really do think we're going to get Premier League proven players, and I think either Gallagher or Ward-Prowse personally. I think Phillips is too injury prone.
Yeah. I agree with Phillips, but just to prove from Premier League striker up there, you know, and he loves Mickey, we know that, but let's get a proper striker in. We haven't seen a real proper Premier League proven striker come in for a long time. You know, you two know it more than I do, but we just don't sign good strikers. Let's end that rut. Let's say to David Moyes, here's X amount of money, you sign the best striker and the best fitting striker that you think you can find. Hammerat says, coincidence to bring out this rumour just as emotions are all high about Noble leaving. Precisely. Matt, hope you are well. Hammerat says, with the experience this year, a few decent signings and getting Europa League for next season, we are so in the run for Champions League the following season. Exactly, you know, progression, but that's only going to happen if, obviously, if we get the Europa League, fingers crossed, and we overtake them lot up north, and we sign the players that we need in the summer to get through, because this season we've been winging it, you know, let's not lie. We've just about scraped our way through somehow with the players we've got. We can't be doing that again next season, Mike, if we're in this situation again.
Everyone knows that. You know, everyone knows we have absolutely just about scraped to where we are. I mean, we've been resting players, you know, for the big game, and it didn't happen. So I don't blame anyone for that. It had to be done. You know, what they've done, and I don't blame them for that. But it was always going to be tough. If we had a good run in Europe with the small squad that we had, I knew it was going to be tough. And I said, if we could get 7th again this year, that would be absolutely, you know, I'd be happy with that. Because last year, you got to remember, we got in the Europa League without any European football. You know, we didn't build on the squad. We didn't bring enough players in. So we've had decent cup runs. We've had a great run in the Europa League. We've been lucky to get where we have been, I think. You know, it's still in with a chance getting Europa League for again next year.
Yeah.
You know, probably 3 points might do it. You know, 3 points from these last 2 games because of our, you know, superior goal difference, you know. But it was always going to be a struggle. It was always going to be a struggle.
I do genuinely believe that it's 50-50 now because I don't think United get anything away from home at Palace on the last day of the season.
Toughie. It's a toughie, yeah.
And I think 6th is very much up to play for. And if we pick up nothing against Man City, that's okay. It's probably to be expected, you know, with the emotions, and of course we are playing Man City. I think any points is a bonus. If needs be, we go to Brighton away on the last game of the season. If we win, we get Europa League because of that superior goal difference. I think we're in a very good chance of getting that 6th spot.
Yeah, I think we do, mate. To be honest, Man City, obviously they're playing tonight, so it'll be interesting to see. Obviously, Liverpool's result yesterday. I think if they get that win tonight, which I pretty expect them to do against Wolves, I think we can get a result on Sunday. I think if they don't get the win tonight,
yeah,
I feel because they're just going to come out.
They're going to need to beat us.
They're going to come out all guns blazing, and you'll probably see 3 at the back and all their attackers, and it will just be an uphill task. But no, I honestly do feel if Man City get the win tonight, I think it's ours. I think we can get a result.
Yeah, we could have done with Villa picking up something against Liverpool, because there's even more of an incentive now for Man City, because obviously they're gonna, you know, they are playing a game midweek, but that means absolutely nothing to the size of their squad. You know, they could put out their 3rd side and hold their own against us easily. But hey ho, we'll have to wait and see. I think I'm treating it more as a free hit. We can get something that's possible, but it'll be a pleasant surprise if we do. Next says the club will have to confirm something soon on this. Too many interested parties, as he's a wanted man right now. Let's scroll down. Comments have skipped. Lovely stuff. Let's scroll back up. Where are we? I heard you're getting Nketiah. I talked about him on the show earlier, and yeah. Are you turning your nose up at Nketiah, guys, or not?
On a free, I wouldn't.
No,
on a free.
Honestly, I think he's got something. You know, he's got pace, hasn't he? I mean, he has scored goals. To be fair to him, he's some decent finishes, but I don't think Arsenal will keep him. So I think he'll be up for grabs.
Yeah, I think he will be, but I have to wait and see how he ends the season. You know, if he scores the winner down the lane on Thursday, it might change things.
Quick yes or no, because obviously he's hardly played.
Yeah.
Could you see us putting a cheeky bid in for Lukaku?
Oh, Andy.
If you think about it, yeah, we're offering 50 million, yeah, for Watkins apparently.
Yeah.
It's apparently so. If you had another 10 million on that, I know they paid 80 or 90 million for him, but as of if they want him gone, he's not playing. If you offer 60 million, I know it's a loss. They surely would consider it, right?
I
would have thought so. Yeah. Could you imagine him and Antonio at front together?
It's just
that'd be interesting.
I don't know. A bold shout, though. A bold shout. Matt says that finish 6/7 this season, invest in a few players in the summer. I believe Deck will stay if we do so. Gary says maybe you can see Moyes and his dilly-dallying with transfers. If we don't get it right in the summer, Deck will be off. Yeah, we've got to show, you know, whoever's fault it was in January for not signing players. We've got to put that to the side now. I couldn't care less about that now. We've just got to focus on the summer and getting these players in. Let's scroll down. Sean says define a top player or 3, whilst also being realistic. Who could West Ham get to kick on? Mike, 3 West Ham players. 3 players come to West Ham that Declan Rice would go. I approve.
Ollie Watkins would be one for
Ollie
sure.
Watkins, yeah,
definitely. I think Ward Price, Calvin Phillips. I think he'd look at those 3 and go, 3 good signings.
I'd go Gallagher. Gallagher. I don't know.
Brozier maybe as well.
Yeah. Watkins, that's it. Watkins. I'm going to go Watkins, Gallagher, and sign Areola on a permanent. Andy?
Jonathan David.
Oh.
James Ward-Prowse.
Yeah.
And the left back from Brighton.
Oh yeah.
Kukale.
Yeah.
Kukale, yeah. Him.
That's
yeah.
him.
Very, very good player, and we'll see him. We'll see him on the last day of the season. Hopefully, he has a quiet game so we can get sick. But Gary says, my only worry is we didn't get any of the 150 million given to the club by the new man, and if they're off, we might not spend as much. They want to fill their pockets before they go. They will want to completely line their pockets, and everything about this Kretinsky has just gone a bit silent, hasn't it? You know, after the kind of month, nobody's talking about him. He hasn't been mentioned for a long time, and it's just kind of disappeared into thin air with Kretinsky.
But that's not a bad thing, really, in my mind. He's staying quiet. I haven't got a problem with that. If he's going to be like that, great. I mean, the others had stayed quiet for a fair time. It's just, right at the wrong time now that we've heard something. But is it true? Only time will tell.
Yeah. Peter says Declan and what he wants from South and West Ham Football Club is success in the Premiership, and if the board backed Moyes properly, we would have. James says, I say it's smart about Dec. Front up with the money if you want him, or close the door behind you. Matt says, if we were to get the Europa Conference League next season, that would sway Dec to stay beyond 2025 and invest, in my opinion. Gallagher is a player who would do well in our squad. Jonathan David is a player they'd love to sign. I agree. Yeah, Jonathan David, that's a shout, Andy.
Yeah.
Because we have been linked with him in the past. Do you think, honestly, that's something that David Moyes will revisit?
Yeah, I believe so. He's probably, as you call it, the mould like Antonio. He's got the pace. He can finish. Well, I say he's like Antonio. In my opinion, Antonio misses his when Antonio has to think about it, he's sloppish. But when he's just ain't got time, he's okay. But yeah, like you said, Jonathan David. I don't know how Lille's getting on in the league. I don't know if they're getting at Champions League or not. But if they're in Europa or anything, then it won't be. But no, it's.
Something to keep on the back burner. Luke says, if we finish above Man United, they need to have a long, hard look at themselves. Honestly, it'd be brilliant if we finish above them. Absolutely brilliant. Luke says, I would have Nketiah over no one on a free, though. Nobody can deny it on a free. Sean says, West Ham need presence up front, especially with Moyes style. Nketiah / Ollie Watkins aren't that type. Watkins I would have as that starting striker.
Watkins, he's stronger than you think. I think he puts himself about as well. I mean, he's got good pace. He's not a Lukaku. I agree with Sean there. I mean, we do need someone with some presence. But I like Watkins. He's got a lot about him that I like.
Yeah.
And Calvert-Lewin we were talking about as well. I bet he's too injury prone as well. I mean. There's another one who's really good in the air. I mean, that guy leaps. He does get up well. And he would fit in, but fitness-wise, I don't know. With
Watkins, he is a Moyes player, I think, because we've seen it at Villa Park. We saw it firsthand, was that he ran off the ball. His off-the-ball work was very good. His pressing, and they were poor that day. Well, when we played, and we smashed them 4-1, and we don't smash teams 4-1 away from home very often. They were poor. And I looked at it and went, he's a player straight away. Hoyle, no to Lukaku. Romelu Lukaku, give him another chance to turn us down. They're not liking that proposal, Andy.
You want Premier League proven players? He's a Premier League proven player.
Yeah,
at least he won't score against us.
Well, exactly. You go West Brom, Everton, Chelsea, wherever he always scores against United. That will stop that.
No, but everyone says turn their nose up. Oh, it's his attitude. It's this. It's that. But at the end of the day, I think I would be the same as him. He's come there as the main man, and Tuchel hasn't played him.
He hasn't played. No, he hasn't played him.
So yeah.
Let's have a look. Gary says 37 people watching. People like the out of this and get the subs. Thank you very much, Gary. 47 now. Christ, we're going up in the world. Like and subscribe. It must be all about these two. These two, they're raking them in, literally raking the viewers in. But James says no way is Watkins worth 50 million, but I won't say anymore because I'll upset Hammerat. Sean says PS. I don't think any players are good enough to make Rice State. It's a regular. It's regular Champions League football as a minimum. That's it. See, this is I've got an issue with this. Ward-Prowse won't swap Saints for West Ham. Why not? Would he prefer? He's a very good player. I like him. Would he prefer to sit 15th every year with Southampton and come to a club that
Southampton can still get relegated? Like, this is
Exactly.
what people can't work out.
Yeah.
Like, there's 2 games to go, and yeah,
I know what
James
Sean's
Ward-
saying because he's been loyal to Southampton, and he really. I mean, he's obviously an upgrade to come to West Ham from Southampton, but
he's
I
got
understand
that
what he's
England
saying.
connection. He's got that England connection.
Yeah. He's been loyal to Southampton, and fair dues to him for that.
Yeah, but if he wants to progress his career, he's not going to do it out of Southampton because they bought in Brogy this year, and he scored goals, but nothing much has changed. You know, they've been their normal self, where they've had 5 good games, 10 bad games, 5 good games, 10 bad games, and that's why they're 15th or wherever they are. And it's just unfortunate. 3 times we've played and we've caught them on 2 good days and one day where neither side was good and it was 0-0 at the end.
Yeah.
So Hennessy says evening. Oh, hope you're well, mate. Frema says 5 to 6 this season is above all expectations. Boys have worked so hard and done us proud. All hail the Moisiah. Broja looked brilliant the first 10 games. And I said this earlier as well, Mike, is that as soon as Southampton seems to their form dips, he disappears.
And there's a reason, isn't there, that he's not at Chelsea. Chelsea, I know they send so many players out on loan and some really good players, to be fair. But that Chelsea know, they've seen him, they've seen him come up through. So there is a reason. He's probably consistency, and you don't get that in a youngster, to be fair. But there's things about him I really like. His pace, his power. When he was on a run and getting chances, he was causing all sorts of problems. So he's gone off the boil, but you expect that with youngsters.
Andrew says, make a cheeky bid for Mason Mount and Tech won't go anywhere. Comment of the night goes to Ludo. There's a Czech guy called Crow who looks good. Perhaps we can sign him. Yeah, is it first name Alex? I think, is that his name? Yeah. He kind of came out of retirement for some Snack Wars thing with Jackmate like 2 days ago, and all of a sudden he came out and he was trying all this Czech stuff. I've never seen him before. I think I might have seen him somewhere up in Kidderminster. Is that where it's called? Somewhere. A shocker, but yeah, never really heard of him. Sean says rivalry aside, with West Ham fancy a bid for Bergwijn. I don't think he's Premier League quality. Andy, you're shaking your head.
No, he'd be handy backup. He'd be handy backup player.
I think he's an ego that we don't need in the dressing room as well. Possibly.
He got promised that he'd be the main man to go in there, and he hasn't. He scored on his debut, but apart from obviously the Ajax game, but apart from that, he's not done nothing really.
Yeah. I don't think he's a player that we necessarily need in the dressing room. From the outside looking in, he kind of like he's just disappeared into thin air, and all of a sudden he's come back, and I don't know. But Scott said, afternoon all, I'd like 4 players: Kukurea, Ake, Phillips, Tony, and maybe a youngster. I also realised I spent about 250 million there. That's right. We can all dream.
See, I sort of agree with. Sorry, I'm scrolling down to what Sean's saying. Players will only be turned by Champions League football, but I don't see what the big deal is with the Champions League personally. Like not just saying probably because we're not in it. But I know we've seen the drama in the semi-final, but I don't know about you, Mike, but when in the early 2000s and stuff, when you saw the likes of Newcastle in there and stuff, I got that bit more of a buzz. Yeah. But now when I just watch it, if it's on, if there's something else that's on, I'll watch it. It's not like the rural thing where you watch it, or is it just me because we're not in it? I don't see the benefit.
Mate, the Champions League for me, right? The Champions League was just the champions for me, but I'm old school. You know, you got to
Yeah,
remember
yeah,
that.
no, I agree.
I'm for me, it was the team that won the league. They went in the European Cup.
Yeah.
And not second, third, fourth, and they're on about fifth now. That's a joke in my mind. How a 15 can get in there, and I don't care if it was West Ham that was fifth. I still don't think, you know, it's about that. The champions, the European champions should be champions of their league. It shouldn't be a team that finished fifth in the bloody league. That's just not right for me. In the Cup Winners' Cup, like when we won it, that was all the cup winners. It's not like Europa League teams that finished 8th or 9th in the league. It's just turning into a joke. It's all about money, isn't it? I know that, you know.
Yeah, and
It's all about Sky
and
and BT. You know, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, and the new Champions League format they're going to bring in 2024 just literally screams to me, let's try and get Man United into the Champions League in any way possible if they don't finish fourth. But anyway, we need Andrea Bellotti from Torino. I think he'd be great for us. He's been mentioned several times, but good player though, very good striker. He's proven in different leagues. Will he cut it in the Premier League?
Would he be cheap? He would be cheap though, wouldn't he?
Probably. I don't know.
Free transfer, isn't he?
Free.
Is he free? Is he?
Yeah.
Who would take a little punt at that on a free? And Ketia or Bellotti on a free? I know who I'm taking.
Yeah.
Who knows? Matt says head-to-head against City in the Premier League, played 41, won 9, drew 6, lost 25. That's going to be easy then, isn't it? Easy peasy. Sean says 50 million might make Brentford open their eye for Tony. He doesn't feel a bad fit. Done it in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Quite a presence. Also, West Ham have been linked to bringing Abraham back to England. Yeah, that won't happen. Tony, very good player.
Tony for me, yeah, I agree, Sean. He 50 million for him. Yeah,
excellent player.
I'd go all out for that.
Peter says 150 million our new part owner has promised on the money not spent in January. We've got a really big transfer kitty. When you add it up, Andy, it sounds like a big transfer kitty, but we are talking about West Ham there.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to believe any rumours until a player's there presenting with his shirt. I'm not going to sit here and I know you've done a few shows and it's just making money. There's no tournaments in the summer. I didn't know until Declan said, do you know England have got 4 games after the season finishes? 4 games.
Oh, there's games in June, isn't there?
That's what he said. He said he might not even have a holiday. 4
Why?
games.
Why have 4 games for? What, World Cup or what?
Don't know.
Oh god.
Because to be fair, they only get 3 weeks holiday, don't they? That's it. 3 weeks holiday. I know a guy who's a physio. He's going to Everton apparently, and 3 weeks. That's it. End of the season.
I'm
3
checking
weeks.
their fixtures. Just checking their fixtures.
That's mad. Yeah. Because I saw tickets for the England game. So I'm like, you're playing at like Molineux and like why? Just what? Friendly.
I know there's that Ukraine-Scotland game. That's early June.
That's a qualifier.
That's one of those qualifiers, isn't it?
Yeah. To fund Wembley as well, but I don't think any of them are in.
Yeah, to pay for Wembley.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's 4 Nation League games: 4th of June, 7th of June, 11th of June, and 14th of June.
So that's 4 games in how long?
10 days.
4 games in 10 days. Declan Rice won't start all of them, but still, that's been in and around the squad 4 times.
So that's Hungary away, Germany away, Italy at home, and Hungary at home.
Hungary away? Is that in Hungary? Oh my god, Budapest, probably, isn't it?
Pathetic
Lovely.
tournament.
Yeah, there's the Nations League. There's all that as well. And
yeah.
Anyway, I don't want to keep you to the dream team for too much longer. So let's have our final thoughts then. Who wants to go first?
Go on, Mike. You can go first.
Go on, Moise.
Final thoughts. Look, I just hope it's not all true. I just hope that this blows over a bit. I just hope they get their hands in their pockets and start trying to get hold of people now. I know he can't do it yet. It's going to take a while, but I think this is a massive summer for us. It is huge, and they've got to do it right. The club have got to do it right. Let's see what Rob Newman's made of. We haven't mentioned his name, I know, but yeah, surely he should be sorting something out. Let's see what the board are made of, and hopefully, when come August, we've got 4 or 5 really good additions to the squad.
Yeah, I think so. Just before we come to Andy, let's take these final few comments. Bowen will bin the England squad. Honestly, I won't be surprised if he doesn't get in it. I really won't be surprised because they don't like picking West Ham players. And I put it on Instagram. That mad graphic come out again about Mark Noble not being picked for Euro 2016 and the stats for the season over the players that were picked in midfield. Yeah. It's mad. They had no choice but to pick Declan Rice, but they don't like picking West Ham players because it's not coming from the big names like City and that. I would not be surprised.
Well, Henderson will play. Henderson will get picked. Phillips has been 2 games back, but he'll have to play because he thinks it's that. Obviously, Ward-Prowse. But yeah, with regards to Saka, even though he's got better stats, will play. Smith Rowe will go. Yeah, I can't see him getting picked. Rashford will probably get picked as well.
Oh, Rashford, Sancho, they're all them out that have done nothing all season. That's for sure. Curry update, however, Curry ordered from Scott. What have you gone for? We want full preciseness.
Go on, Scott.
I hope it's about 12 poppadoms. Otherwise, I'm going to be disappointed. Andy, your final thoughts?
No, like I said, I think we'll obviously on TalkSport they'll probably be talking about it again in the morning before the Jim White show. Obviously, you have Laura Woods and whoever on there giving their set, but I can't see anyone else talking about it, mate. I think it will just be forgotten about, and hopefully Friday it will just be about Mr. West Ham and about us getting a result against Man City on Sunday.
Let's hope so. Andrew says Canary Wharf for spring cleaning the rooms as we speak. Yeah, all the players are ready to be filed in there. All of them. They'll have to book up the whole hotel in Canary Wharf to get all them contract signings done. But anyway, not something that I particularly wanted to talk about, but I thought we had to. Declan Rice's 8-year, 200 grand a week contract proposal, and we think it's absolute rubbish, to be honest with you. But hey ho, we will see what happens with that. He will not sign it, I don't think, but it's what it is. Andy and Mike, Dream Team, thank you very much for coming on.
Looking forward to the Leeds Chelsea game, which starts at 7:30.
Oh right,
exactly, as well. Yeah, and we'll be.
I'll go out somewhere, but I'll be back for the other game, I think.
Yeah.
There we go. And final comment: chicken rogan, egg fried rice, onion bhaji, plain naan bread, 2 plain poppadoms. They usually give me 5, so be smart on order 2. Scott. Too much plain going on there though. What's with the
egg
plain
fried rice on a curry?
Yeah, I don't normally have egg fried rice
with a curry.
Mushroom rice, isn't it, Mike?
Yeah, peeler rice or mushroom rice. Mushroom rice, yeah.
And some Bombay potatoes as well. I ain't got a clue what a Bombay potato is.
Bombay potato, yeah.
I ain't got a clue what
bit of sagaloo.
Completely
mango chutney. Mango chutney.
Mango chutney, I've heard of that.
Oh, bottom of it on.
Yeah, I'll just keep going like that.
I'll tell you what, Andy, you're gonna have to knowledgeise you, Mike, as well. When you come down, you've got to be ready because I'm going to be handing cider. Not that I've bought, because that's illegal. And all the curry tips are coming. Trust me. And
Mike, should we go out for the curry then on a Friday night?
Why not, mate?
Here we go. We're going out for a curry.
Yes.
Where's there a curry house, Mike?
Well, I know for a good one.
Go on. Sorry, yeah. Mike knows.
Mike knows.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you very much, everybody, from me and Andy and from Mike. Come on, you Irons. We'll be now building up to Mr. West Ham's final home game.
Look at that, look.
Andy's disappeared. No. Somerset gotta be a ploughman. So I'll tell you what, your comment just before we go, Luke.
Yeah.
Your comment just before we go, about something from down here about where is it? Yeah, here we go. The rumours down here is James Ward-Prowse will go to Liverpool to replace Henderson. It's like you're saying you're down. We're in Somerset. You're in Hampshire. It's only an hour down the road, mate. It's not like you're in a flipping different country. The rumours down here. But anyway, thank you very much. We'll catch you soon. Like and subscribe. Do all that jazz. Bye.